Hello and welcome to Too Sharp with ET. I'm Nisha Poddar. Our top two picks of the day that you must know about are the impact of Trump's 25% auto tariff and India plans FPI reforms to woo the global investors. So, the US President Donald Trump has announced a 25% tariff on all the auto imports, including finished cars and key components, in a move set to upend the global auto supply chains. Effective from 3rd of April, the White House says that this policy concerns jobs, national security, and economic sovereignty. But markets and manufacturers worldwide are rattled with this move. The tariff is to the tune of 25% on all imported vehicles and light trucks. Also applies to engines, transmissions, powertrains, EV parts, and other key components. No country has been spared as tariffs hit Canada, Mexico, EU, Japan, and South Korea, despite existing free trade pacts. So Trump calls it permanent and non-negotiable. It is estimated to raise $100 billion annually for the US. Let's now take a look at the contours of this tariff, what's exempt and what's not. So for vehicles under USMCA or the United States, Mexico, Canada, well, the non-US content will be taxed. So a car made in Mexico with 45% US parts pays tariffs on 55%. Parts duties may be delayed until 3rd of May and final notification is pending. So the rule is layered over existing duties. The base auto import tariff was 2.5%, now spiking tenfold. Trump's administration will also allow interest deduction on the auto loans only for the cars which are made in the US. Now let's focus on the winners and losers. Winners include Tesla with all US production, but Elon Musk still warns of significant cost impact due to the part tariffs. Ford, about 80% of US sales are made domestically. Samvardhana Motherson, that has a strong US and EU manufacturing footprint and buffers the tariff risks for this company. Now to the losers. General Motors, heavily reliant on imports, Toyota, Honda, Volkswagen, Hyundai, and most important, large share of US sales. Really, some models could get $10,000 plus costlier. For the consumers, again, the prices may escalate by $12,500 per car. Auto investors across the world have also been pressured because of the stocks tumbling. There are a whole host of companies which are most vulnerable to the new tariffs reflected in the percentage of the cars sold by brands in the US that are imported. Like, for example, JLR of Tata Motors, 100%. Mazda, Volkswagen, Mercedes-Benz, BMW are worth a mention. When we talk about India's position, it's a story of probably low exposure and big opportunity. India exports just $8.9 million in finished cars to the US, so direct hit is minimal. But India's auto parts exports to the US total about $6.8 billion, and margin pressure is likely if OEMs push the costs onto the suppliers. Tata Motors, JLR, and Eicher's Royal Enfield also face indirect headwinds. Sona BLW also faces a squeeze. So, what is the outlook on this? Well, India could expand its share in the US parts market as rivals face higher cost structures. That's the view coming in from Global Trade Research Initiative. CLSA says, we assume the US price hike will soften demand, leading to cost escalations or sourcing shifts for the automakers. CLSA suggests Tata Motors valuation impact could be of 7%, Sona BLW 4%, Bharat Forge 4%, SAMIL 2% hit expected. Most of the affected stocks fell in trade on Thursday. India plans Big Bang FPI reform to woo the global investors. Now, according to a Reuters report, India is preparing to double the foreign investor cap in the listed companies. Now, the move is essentially aimed at reviving the capital inflows and also easing the regulatory asymmetries that are there. Now, this would also mark one of the biggest shifts that we have seen in India's FPI regime in decades. Let's talk about the doubling of the FPI cap. So, the Reserve Bank of India proposes raising the cap on individual foreign investment in India listed companies from 5 to 10%. The foreign individual holding limit will rise from 10 to 24% per company. Now, the reform also extends rights earlier reserved for NRIs and OCIs under FEMA's Schedule 3 to all the foreign individuals. The proposals are in final discussion stages between the RBI, SEBI, and the Finance Ministry and is keenly awaited. By now, this move is prominent due to the backdrop of FPI exodus and tariff risk. Since September 2024, FPIs have pulled out over $28 billion from Indian equities. Factors driving outflows including high valuations in frontline stocks, disappointing earnings season, fear of US tariffs, and especially on pharma, semiconductor, and autos. So Nifty 50, which hit record highs, remember, in late 2024, has underperformed the regional peers in the year 2025 so far, mainly because of the outflows. Policy aims to reignite this FII interest, also giving more headroom for the equal treatment given to them. What changes? Under FEMA, current foreign individual ownership is capped at 5% and only for NRIs, OCIs. Proposed puts up 10% individual cap extended to all foreign persons. Aggregate limit of 24% for all individual foreign holdings. When we look at the regulatory challenges, well, SEBI has flagged risks of cross-regulation arbitrage, particularly if an individual plus the associates cross 25%, open offer rules kick in. 34% plus indirect holding risk could really trigger a stealth takeover. And multiple frameworks like FEMA, SEBI Takeover Code could really clash or create loopholes. But this could be a big move in attracting more foreign inflows. With that, it's a wrap on this edition of Too Sharp with ET. Thanks so much.